Hi dear geoscientists, and welcome back with another tutorial video from Geoscience Skills. Today I will resume talking about cutoff parameter subject that we had in previous videos before this time. But this time I will go through the benefits of cutoff application and highlight the product's impact on reservoir study results. So let's start.
Cutoff application benefits. The first is compatibility with reservoir mechanisms. The cutoff values help us to understand production mechanisms by creating net pay zones through which hydrocarbon is produced. So, when these net pays inserted into a dynamic model and these net pays were based on a proper and representative cutoff values, then a good match between simulation and real production data is expected. So whenever we have a more robust net pays that represent or reflect the production mechanism, it's highly expected to have a good or nearly good match between actual and simulated production data like oil and water.
Systematic methodology. Cutoff is a systematic methodology. It depends on nature and complexity of reservoir for evaluation of hydrocarbon in place and estimation of ultimate hydrocarbon recovery. Sometimes at significantly heterogeneous reservoir, we may apply different cutoff scenarios such as lithology cutoff to produce net sand for different reservoir intervals, or same reservoir interval but at different wells. In this example, different lithology cutoff was applied in zone 2 due to the mineralogical content of the sand. The presence of feldspar within the sand result in rise in gamma ray due to richness of feldspar in potassium, which would have a significant impact on gamma ray log by increasing the value against the interval of the net sand. Storage and flow capacity of hydrocarbon. Cutoff is a certain value that governs the storage and flow capacity of hydrocarbons. So, when there is a certain value for porosity cutoff, this means that below this value is poor reservoir and the pores do not contain hydrocarbon. On the other hand, if permeability cutoff is certain value, then this means that above this value fluids can flow into the pore hole or can be produced. Effective characterization of the reservoir and better synergy between the static and dynamic models. The cutoff values are more robust characterization of the reservoir. They make better synergy between the static and dynamic reservoir models. So this means that the more accurate and representative cutoff values for petrophysical properties means the robust and consistent static and dynamic models. And like this, energy companies can more fully realize the asset value. Cutoff values also preserve the relationship between petrophysical parameters at upscaled model. In model scale, cutoff preserve the relationship between petrophysical data and the parameters at upscaled model grid and reduce bias in the model between raw data and upscaled. So cutoff work on reducing the bias between the petrophysical data and upscaled in the 3D static model. Cutoff is also good for well completion program. By identifying hydrocarbon flow units, it identifies target intervals for well completion processes such as setting and selecting, production casing, and locating perforation or depths where perforation will be performed. So, with all the benefits mentioned, as a geologist or petrophysicist, you need to work on optimized sets of reservoir property cutoffs, if possible. Because if it's not, then the cutoff value may tend to downgrade the reservoir volumetrics and negatively change the reservoir connectivity, in addition to altering reservoir dynamics. So I hope that you have gained the best from this video, and for more videos about cutoff parameter, you can watch my other two videos. One is about the definition of the cutoff and types of the net base produced from applying the cutoff. And the second one teaches how to make lithology cutoff and generate multiple net sand log scenario using Petrel workflow. So thank you for your time, and until I see you in next videos from Geoscience Skills, don't forget, KOL, keep on learning.
Geoscience skills. Thank you for keeping learning.